Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717. I am back with another video. I just wanted to send you guys some love and thank you so much for being here. Your presence means the world to me. If you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so and join the soul family as we provide a safe space for you guys to dig into your twin flame journey. If you guys want to share stuff in the comments, go ahead. I do come in from time to time and answer questions. So again, with that, I hope everybody's just doing extremely well and keeping safe at this time. So I wanted to share a few synchronicities with you guys. The Dragonfly totem and also the song Never Been in Love by Talib Kweli. Okay, so I'm going to post the lyrics for you guys in the description box. I wanted to talk a bit about the Dragonfly totem. So the other day I was with my son and we were in an empty soccer field. And so I started kicking the ball very high into the air. Me and his dad were taking turns doing it, and he was so fascinated by seeing the ball go so high into the air. But the weird thing is that every time the ball would go into the air, a whole bunch of dragonflies would swarm towards the ball. And it was quite interesting. They kept doing it over and over again whenever they saw the blue ball. I'm not sure if it was the light or the color or whatnot, but it was a blue ball. And it was just a very, very fascinating experience. And so, of course, I had to look up the Dragonfly totem, and it's been following me now around ever since. And not only outside, but like now I'm starting to see it in like jewelry, on the TV, and books. Like my son will just be reading a random book, and then all of a sudden there's a dragonfly I've never noticed in the book before. So the dragonfly kind of reminds me of the fairy, okay? Because it kind of represents like stepping out of your comfort zone. And the reason I bring up the fairy is because when I was a kid, I would take a lot of comfort in finding time imagining that I was as small as a fairy so that I could get away from the world and escape and hide in small little spaces. So I don't know if that resonates for some of you, but I was really guided to share that because you're actually being pushed out of this energy now, and the world is needing your help. Okay, the world wants to see you in your true authenticity. And if this message is for you, it represents a message for you and your counterpart about your connection. Okay, the dragonfly asks you guys to be a little bit more brave and fearless, and don't focus on any kind of fear related to changing your life circumstances, because this experience for you both, you're having a personal experience, and the twin flame journey for you both represents your journey in life. And that's why you both can't get away from each other. So what's happening now is you're being guided towards each other to understand and know that whenever you take any kind of action that combats fearful thinking, you're going to be rewarded by the universe. Okay, so the more you do things that are aligned with your true nature, you overcome something, you challenge yourself to do something, the universe is going to reward you for this. So there's many of you in twin flame connections afraid to take certain steps or make certain moves because you are afraid that tower moments will crumble. But the towers are really just representations to let you know that old patterns of thinking are falling down. That's all. And you will rebuild new ones based on your connection with your person, okay? So I wanted to dig into these decks a little bit because I wanted to send the collective some messages from the Divine Masculine, because he's so in love. And although some of you are not getting communication, or you may not be getting communication, like the energy is very strong in the air. I've been getting so many different songs. Oh my God, Hungry Eyes was one of them. And that's totally random to come into my head, but Hungry Eyes came. Another one was so random, but it's Picture Perfect by Justin Bieber. So if you guys want to check out the lyrics, I'll post the link in the description box, because I know the song synchronicities and animal synchronicities are very, very helpful on this journey. So I'll go ahead and dive into the cards. I had the Tarot of Fairy Magic because of my fairy reference, so I just kind of wanted to see what this deck is going to say to us in terms of like both of the twins stepping out on stepping out of their comfort zone, specifically the masculine. So we get the Justice card coming up, and that's actually been a strong card on my own journey, specifically from the Tarot of Sexual Magic deck, just because of her fierce stance. And, actually I should try to find it because there's both a sword in that image, which is interesting. I'll see if I can quickly find it here and not waste too much time. Okay, come on. Okay, let's just do a quick one. Angels, universe, please help us find the card quickly so that okay, perfect. Angels, I swear, guys, like every time you ask for the angels' help, just in the way I did, it always like works. You just have to ask because we do have free will on this journey. And like some people have like negative connotations of angels, some people have positive. In my opinion, like they're all just like souls that are within this whole entire vast universe, and they're either here to help support you or to help deter you on the journey, or maybe try to present illusions. But trust me, those that are loving beings are here to help, okay? So anyways, with that being said, and I'll actually just kind of keep this set of cards because I randomly like went through them searching for the Justice card, but I want to show you guys how, like, she's holding that beautiful sword there, and there's that sword there as well, and you can see an image of someone holding a sword as well. And so, I really strongly feel that with these cards, like specifically, like especially this one floating around in my subconscious, I guess, and with this card as well, it just talks about like the both of you reviewing your life, and that there's a win-win in the end, and the win-win is like the love. There is no energy on the planet that's stronger than the vibration of love, and that's why you both are kind of like on this journey together, really knocking things down together in the name of love. And like that's bringing justice to your life, because I really feel like the feminine has had her share of experiences, and I feel like the masculine has had his share of experiences, but now is a time of both of them working together in order to create the justice. And I love the wings too, because it's just so glittery like the moth or the butterfly, even like the dragonfly. And we know that 8 is like a personal power number, and it's all about, you now, you specifically having to take action and rely on yourself, because the 8 is about self-reliance. It's about having poise and discernment and taking positive movement forward on your journey instead of leaving it stagnant. If you feel like it's stagnant or nothing's happening, sometimes the most frustrating energy is like waiting on someone else. I've taken a lot of action on my journey. I've moved, swiftly towards my connection, and I tried like to create like tunnel vision when it came to this is my journey, and like despite what any other reader says or whatever experience they've had on their twin flame journey, I have to do what was best for me. And that helped me to understand my masculine more than listening to someone else's advice through a video, because I felt that like I did that for a really long time, and like there would be times where I would listen to a reading and I would totally like feel very negative towards my connection or my masculine. So once the justice cards comes into play, where it's like the both of you are now focused on each other, focused on putting your swords down, focused on not being so combative with each other, not being so competitive, not listening to any outside opinions or illusions about your connections. It's like now that you two are working positively towards the connection, there's a lot that both of you are wanting to experience now. And I'm just going to go with the rest of the cards here. Like the masculines are in their magician energy. They're willing to do anything possible to make this connection a manifestation in their life, in the physical, because you're it for them. Just like you came across the twin flame experience as the divine feminine, they've always known the essence of the connection, but there's been a lot of resistance to that, because the male energy naturally is so wrapped up, or it's the very yang energy of like being very high up top, and the feminine is like being very low deep down in the ocean, just kind of diving deep and creating, whereas the masculines are really caught up in like their mind and emotions. And with the feminine energy kind of like awakening him out of that like sleep, and now there's no stopping him. I feel like this card comes up because we talked about the dragonfly. So kind of like stepping out of your comfort zone and really doing things that don't make you feel so tied up anymore. Maybe stop watching your counterpart from afar and start taking action. Because we have, the Hanged Man here, which in numerology, I think it's number 12. So the energy of like the 1 and the 2. So new beginnings coming together in the physical and not just, in secret anymore. I think I've talked about that, you guys coming out of secret in the last reading. And, even with that 3 there, when you add up the 1 and the 2 with the 12, the 3 is like really creative energy as well coming together between you two, and not fearing the change, and even if there is change on its way, learning to embrace it rather than constantly just run away from it. Because with those 4 walls there, or sorry, the 4, it kind of like for me represents like 4 walls of stability, and the only kind of stability the both of you are feeling is with each other. And I feel like, again, the feminine's just kind of lying down, relaxing, because she's done a lot of like digging into her creativity as a feminine energy and realizing that it's like you weren't necessarily chasing him. It was more just, relaxing into your feminine energy of loving something, of wanting to constantly give love and create. And now that you're kind of resting from doing that because the energies are balancing themselves, it's like you're giving him a chance now to sort of experience what it's like to really feel vulnerable and give yourself to someone and love someone, most importantly, in a very trusting way. And I don't think that the masculine has been able to do that like in this lifetime yet, until like he met the divine feminine. We have the 9 of Swords coming up, and I feel like, again, with that swords facing down in the background there, they're both just kind of engaging in intimacy. It's like they're kind of coming to like an end of, again, being combative with each other, really understanding what fulfills them, thinking really deeply about each other at this time. A lot of thoughts are filling their head about the connection, and there's a lot of sexual energy in the air too, especially as things, ease up with being isolated away from each other. It's like really this is all on their mind now. And I think too, like not taking touch for granted, or not taking bonding physically for granted anymore is coming to pass for the twin flames. And I think the universe kind of like orchestrated it in that way. We have the Lovers card because they know like the twin flame love is kind of like, it's meant to like heal the planet or shock the planet in a way when they see the twins come together in union. And I'm telling you guys, like the physical union part is on the way. Like there's no denying it. All of us are growing and evolving at such a rapid pace. Some of you thought like even like talking to your masculine on the phone would never be a reality. Some of you thought that texting each other or like coming into each other's reality, it would just never come to pass. And it has. And the physical union is on its way with the Lovers card here. And with numerology, the Lovers card is a 6, and the 6 talks about lessons and compromise. You guys have learned a lot in terms of like, where your energy lies, who you resonate with, what you love, what you don't love, process of elimination. And again, you guys are coming right back to each other with that 6 there, because with the 7 of chalices ending off the tarot of sexual magic cards, it's like he's really, really in love, feminine. And I think that with the Justice card coming up first, it's something that you've always wanted, and now that you've awakened him from his slumber, maybe he's causing you to do a little bit of running yourself, but that's okay because you're going to awaken to a lot of your true feminine energy through him kind of doing a little bit of the chasing this time around. It's going to be a new experience, but use the creative sexual energy to really build and focus on your goals and dreams, because your masculine is rooting for you in that area as well, for you to just kind of slow down and focus on your self-care and everything you've been doing to just take a break from this union. It's really pushing him to like do a lot of hard work, but it's like hard work that he craves and he likes. I can't ignore like the Death card here, because it's like you're making him work in a way where it's like he's so focused on the connection that he's starting to see the true colors around him, and he doesn't like what he sees, and he's putting a swift end to it. He's really putting a swift end to any kind of connections in the past that were maybe making him feel deceived, like he couldn't trust, and I think it's like the feminine energy that's guiding him in this direction. So this is how he sees you, feminine, as goddess Inanna. So the queen of heaven and earth. And see how her hand is behind her neck there? It's like he can't deny your sexual energy. This might be like a very dark-haired feminine. But, you know, just like her energy itself here, it says, I have nothing to hide. And I think that that kind of represents the last video where it's like this new you is like really turning me on. Because I think at this point on the journey, it's like, she's like, wait a second. You love me. You love me, if not more intensely than you've ever loved anything else in your life. And that's why she's got that stance on her with her hand behind her neck, because she's kind of standing back in this, I did not see that coming. So that's why I guess with the Justice card leading the reading, you know, this is what he sees when he looks at you, feminine. He can't deny it. You're the goddess of his heart, his mind, his soul, his thoughts. Only you're occupying that space right now. Ooh, that was nice. Let's go for one more. All right, so we have Magic Lab Drawn, the Diamond-Hearted Dakini. I love this. So she sees the light in her own darkness. And I think that's a beautiful card because maybe it's a lot of you who are stepping into your sexual energy, your beautiful feminine energy. Maybe you're taking selfies more with cleavage or have your midriff showing. Maybe you're putting on makeup. Maybe you're doing the duck face selfie because you swore you never ever would. But something within you is, you know, beautifully starting to transform, and you're starting to embrace a lot of your beautiful feminine qualities. You go, girl. You get it, mama. And I think her energy is, you know, very subtle, yet her eyes, like, are killer eyes, you know. Very, like, seductress eyes. She's gorgeous. My goodness. Okay, I'm going to pull one more. So we have Ajinana. Ooh, she flew out of my hand. She's the High Priestess. So I feel like the High Priestess comes out to let the Divine Feminines know that, you know, it's okay for you guys to take this time to relax. It's okay if you're not receiving communication from your Divine Masculine because, you know, at the end of the day, the connection can't be denied between you two. And if you're not receiving communication, this goddess reminds you that it is not in any way, shape, or form to do with yourself. It is all about your masculine's transformation and growth on his end. Because there are certain things that he's going to have to fight against. And the reason you'll find that he fights it alone is because he's so protective of your energy when it comes to any kind of karmic situations that do affect the connection, because it affects his energy too. And that's why you guys might find that when you do have like conflict or, you know, interactions with your masculines, they tend to bring out like the worst of you and also like the best of you. And, you know, it's because the both of you are so intertwined that you can feel the heaviness of the energy that either is dealing with at the time. Okay. So I'm going to end off, pull a couple of messages here from the Fairy Tarot deck. Did I already pull from it? I pulled maybe just the Justice card alone. I thought so. So I just kind of wanted to do a few more here. Okay, so we have the Princess of Spring, who's very optimistic and enthusiastic at this time. So again, the creative energy that you're feeling from like your masculine being like in the chaser energy, or maybe he's being standoffish because he's being jealous or possessive at this time. You know, really kind of like, see how she's like swinging? She's like, la, 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 la. Just enjoy this energy, feminine, because the universe, again, is rewarding you at this time for a lot of your courage and bravery. And it's just time to shine and do a lot of the things that you've always wanted to do and push yourself. Again, like a lot of your creative endeavors that you want to kind of get involved in and push it to the limit, you will be rewarded for pushing yourselves into situations that make you feel really uncomfortable, or if you're really fearful of creating the change, this Princess of Spring is telling you to go for it, because there's a lot of energy in the air right now that is just pushing you forward, because your masculine's behind you 100%, and that's why you're feeling this vibe. Okay, one more. All right, so we've got the Awakening card here. So our Hanged Man, and you know what's interesting? I had notes written out, and I'll show you guys just to kind of like, you know, my thoughts. And I did write the Hanged Man, if you guys will actually see it here, because I thought either the Hermit or the Hanged Man would come out in this reading. And I feel like it's only because, you know, there's a lot of us right now who have had heavy communication with our masculines, and then it's like all of a sudden they're gone again. hold on to the communication that you've had and keep feeling this energy of just being very grateful for the growth that the connection's experiencing. Like, he clearly has those dragonfly wings in this card here. And I know we did talk about the yin and the yang energy represented there. It's like he's coming into his own and understanding and appreciating the dark sides of his nature, all while, growing through the light sides of your nature, supporting him as well. Okay, with all of that, waterfall there in the background. It's so soothing. It's like while he's in deep contemplation, it's the light of the feminine. It's the song I always talk about as well with my friend Tracy. Man, I can't remember the lyrics right now. It's either an REO Speedwagon song where he talks about her being like a candle in the rain or like a candle in the dark. But yeah, like that's what you are to him, feminine. You're a light that's in all of his darkness. And I think while he takes time to appreciate and love all of that darkness that he is made of and learns to, really balance it, enjoy yourself. The change is good, and change is on the way with this card. Many, many wonderful, wonderful changes. And I'm sorry the card's ripped, guys. My son folded it in half. He's like, yeah, change. All right, we know what's coming. Go for it, masculines. Do it already. Yeah, but they will. They're just really, caught off guard with the feminine. Again, awakening them from this very deep sleep that they've been in. So focused on the material world. And now they're being pushed in another area of their life, which is to just create. So I hope this reading finds you all well, and I will catch you guys in the next video.